built on the trusted journalism that has informed Jamaica for generations. Experience clearer pages, faster load times, and smarter ad positioning to make your ads more impactful. Designed across every device for how Jamaicans read today. New experience, powered by trusted journalism. Subscribe to Jamaica-Gleaner.com and experience the most trusted name in news online.
Television Jamaica delivers unmatched impact. With 82% of the free-to-air market, TVJ delivers your message to more than 1 million viewers daily. From our award-winning on-air broadcasts to our authentic local programs and powerhouse digital platforms, One Spot Media, YouTube, and our social media pages. Your message connects with Jamaicans and a global audience. Build your brand or drive instant results with TVJ's trusted quality and unrivaled reach. Ready to make an impact? Advertise with us today. Call your TVJ account executive at 876-926-1100.
At your fingertips. That's one spot. Multiple channels. Music, drama, entertainment, news and sports, pay-per-view and video on demand. Download the app, sign up, and boom. So what are you waiting for? Now more than ever, make that connection. One Spot is your Jamaican app on the go. And did I say it's free in Jamaica?
The new Jamaica Gleaner website delivers a faster, cleaner, more user-friendly experience. Built on the trusted journalism that has informed Jamaica for generations. Experience clearer pages, faster load times, and smarter ad positioning to make your ads more impactful. Designed across every device for how Jamaicans read today. New experience, powered by trusted journalism. Subscribe to Jamaica-Gleaner.com and experience the most trusted name in news online.
Television Jamaica delivers unmatched impact. With 82% of the free-to-air market, TVJ delivers your message to more than 1 million viewers daily. From our award-winning on-air broadcasts to our authentic local programs and powerhouse digital platforms, One Spot Media, YouTube, and our social media pages. Your message connects with Jamaicans and a global audience. Build your brand.
In primetime news this evening, climbing temperatures squeezing the construction sector in the country.
Animals now at risk as wildfires impact sections of St. Elizabeth.
And a local economist is warning that the dry spell could lead to a spike in crop prices. Good evening and welcome to Primetime News. Welcome also to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. I'm Dwayne Anderson.
And I am Andrea Chisholm. Coming up in business news, we hear more on plans for artisan villages.
And Spencer Darlington is here to tell us what's coming up later in sports. Spencer?
Thank you, Dwayne. The coach of a fast rising national sprinter speaks about her discipline and dedication. We'll tell you more in Primetime Sports later.
Thank you, Spencer. There's also sports commentary and weather in this newscast. But before the break, the feedback question.
And this evening, we're asking, what has been your experience when purchasing books for back to school?
Share comments online, facebook.com/Television Jamaica, and post on X at TVJ News Center.
So please stay with us. The Primetime News package returns right after this break.
Camera, action. Professional studios, broadcast quality equipment, experience production support, all in one creative destination. TVJ Studios has the space, the technology, and the expertise to bring your vision to life. Rent TVJ Studios today and turn your vision into reality. Contact us at production@televisionjamaica.com.
Every winning team has a game plan, and hurricane season is no different. Before the storm makes its move, make yours. Stock up on water, food, medication, batteries, and important documents. Know your evacuation route and stay informed. Hurricane preparedness is your best defense. This hurricane season, score a goal for your family's safety. Be ready, be alert, be prepared.
Lights, camera, action. Professional studios, broadcast quality equipment, experience production support, all in one creative destination. TVJ Studios has the space, the technology, and the expertise to bring your vision to life. Rent TVJ Studios today and turn your vision into reality. Contact us at production@televisionjamaica.com.
Every winning team has a game plan, and hurricane season is no different. Before the storm makes its move, make yours. Stock up on water, food, medication, batteries, and important documents. Know your evacuation route and stay informed. Hurricane preparedness is your best defense. This hurricane season, score a goal for your family's safety. Be ready, be alert, be prepared.
Lights, camera,
Or drive instant results with TVJ's trusted quality and unrivaled reach. Ready to make an impact? Advertise with us today. Call your TVJ account executive at 876-926-1100 or visit televisionjamaica.com. Let us help your business grow because TVJ reaches and TVJ delivers.
Picture this. You're on a beach or in the mountains, perhaps a bar or at the salon, with the world at your fingertips. That's one spot.
As you're thinking, chicken, get the summer bucket for $4,700. KFC.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome to our viewers on onespotmedia.com as well as TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
First up this evening, the country's effort to rebuild from Hurricane Melissa is now under threat due to the climbing temperatures.
Construction workers in Western Jamaica, including Westmoreland, are reeling from the heat as the Super El Niño continues to take its toll on the island.
The construction workers say the heat is burning holes in their pockets as wages continue to plummet for the trade workers.
Kalisha Williams has their story.
These construction workers in Westmoreland are fighting a battle they cannot win. Nature is waging war on the construction site. Like the rest of the island, it has not rained here in weeks, and the heat is brutal.
The sun is very hot, and we say for a day we have to drink all 1, 2, 3, 4 buckets of water. We still have to think about lunch, we still have to think drink 2 juice. and we still have fear for pay.
So that means they have been spending a lot more money than they would during the cooler months. But the salary these workers receive is barely enough to make ends meet.
If the salary is not there, there is no interest. When the sun is getting hotter, and you know how the sun is getting hotter out here in the construction field, how can the sun is getting hotter and the salary is getting low? It doesn't work.
Thank God for you, Mr. Germans, because if I never him right, no wouldn't come on the job site, because 25 or 100 for black, and so my money only want to get 10,000, someone get 12, and you still have to turn up in the hot sun, so you give no motivation for the youth them.
As a result, there has been a shortage of construction workers in the parish since the temperatures started to increase. And at a time when many communities across the parish are under construction due to the impacts of Hurricane Melissa, there is a great demand for these workers. Clovis Drummond, who oversees this construction site, says many of the people rebuilding their homes are hotel workers, and they too have financial challenges.
The hotel is underpaying the staff, and the staff cannot pay the workers when them come to do their jobs to themselves. So therefore, we have to have problem. The construction field is getting weaker and weaker. But when the Chinese come, they get a proper salary for their job, and the locals, Jamaicans who born and raised working in the industry, still cannot get a proper salary.
Since El Nino started to impact weather conditions across the globe, many construction workers have fallen ill. For instance, in the United States in July, several construction workers were left hospitalized after falling ill while working in the dangerous heat. The Guardian newspaper also reported in July that the extreme heat was pushing people in countries like India further into poverty. It quoted a study which said researchers found that those working in highly physical jobs in sectors such as agriculture, construction, and transport lost an average 6.6% of their salaries in 2024 due to extreme heat. And with more hot days on the forecast for the rest of the year, the construction workers in Westmoreland are losing hope.
Time me waste, because they now come out and do them or something. Right now, a man better feel better and go walk on the beach and try hustle a thing more than to come on construction site in a hot sun for nothing at all.
Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
Thanks, Kalisha. And staying with agriculture-related news, a local economist, Keenan Faulkner, says the effects of the current water shortage and agricultural production will compound the financial stress that Jamaicans are likely to face in the coming months. He says consumers should expect to pay more for farm produce and over an extended period.
Coupled with the current hydrological and meteorological drought currently being experienced by the island, the inflation outlook is skewed towards the upside, particularly in the domestic agriculture sector, and prices may be elevated for longer than initially anticipated, especially since the full effects of this El Nino weather phenomenon are yet to be ascertained. The agriculture and water sectors, therefore, will have to build even greater resilience going forward, given this confluence of negative shocks.
The Bank of Jamaica said headline inflation rose to 7.5% in July from 6.7% in June, marking a second consecutive month above the central bank's 4 to 6% target range.
And experts are warning Jamaicans and the wider Caribbean to be fully prepared for potentially severe climate extremes for the remainder of the year and into next year. The warning came from the Barbados-based Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology and the University of the West Indies Climate Studies Group, MONA. They are calling for governments, businesses, farmers and households to take the necessary precautions as El Nino is expected to further strengthen, intensifying the hot and dry conditions being experienced in many parts of the region. Experts say people of the region must be particularly vigilant regarding extreme heat as August to October marks the peak of the heat season. Forecasts suggest that dry conditions will extend into 2027, while potentially record-breaking heat may ensue from March, April or May during next year's heat season.
To some news from St. Elizabeth now, farmers in Junction continue to reel from losses as massive bushfires decimate hundreds of acres of farmlands, crops, equipment, and in the latest incident, farm animals. Krista Campbell has this primetime news update.
Roads barely visible under thick blankets of smoke. A few feet away, winds fan the menacing flames of yet another bushfire that's threatening not only crops but animal lives. Scenes like these have become an almost daily occurrence in St. Elizabeth over the past few weeks. It's the fourth such fire in Junction alone within a 6-day period. On Friday, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green toured and promised help for last Wednesday's fire victims in Nemart Town Junction, St. Elizabeth. A day later, another fire in Junction, this time leveling about 50 acres of farmlands in Carlisle and Delightful districts. Farmers say it started about 10 o'clock Saturday morning and they're still counting their losses.
We lose 2 goats in the fire and they value about $40,000 too. One man cow, he put them born off in the fire.
Beneath a haze of smoke, firefighters struggle to contain the blaze. Another fire of unknown origin. But amidst concerns that residents are still lighting fires to burn garbage or farmers to clear lands for planting, another caution.
So I advise to give the people them stop burning fire in this time. But too much people are lose too much value are lose. Garden are mash up, goat are dead, and animal are dead, and people are lose their value and stuff.
As the heat worsens, the Agriculture Minister is stressing that persons should not use fires to clear any lands or get rid of garbage.
We again want to urge citizens not to light fires in these times. The time is extremely dry, and once there's a spark, it can lead to devastation. The Ministry of Agriculture is embarking on a resensitization campaign starting tomorrow in St. Elizabeth with RADA and the RADA Connect team. We will do 2 sessions, one in the PJ Place area and also in Nemart Town, which is in the Junction area. Again, not just to sensitize our farmers, but to remind our citizens of the dangers of open flame, the dangers of slash and burn land clearing methods during these times.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
The Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA says the dry spell could also set back some of the farms still trying to recover from Hurricane Melissa. The RADA leadership warned if things do not improve, the effects could be felt as far as the Christmas period. The crops in the fields are not only due to the drought. Farm and bushfires are also increasing, destroying crops in the process.
Also concerned about, like consumers, suppliers, concerned about crops for Christmas. We are some 4 months away for Christmas. Most of our crops are 3 months crops that is largely used in Christmas, our vegetable lines. We are hoping that by then we will, one, see some rainfall. We will see our full activation of our drought mitigation program, and that will have us seeing crops coming in abundance for Christmas. So that is our aim right now, is to ensure that our farmers get to work and we mitigate against the dry conditions.
CEO explained RADA technical teams in the fields are trying to work with farmers to prevent bush fires.
So we are working with Jamaica Fire Brigade and other relevant agencies to support our farmers in prevention and preparedness mechanism through our farmer education program. We are also urging farmers to avoid unnecessary burning. A matter of fact, they should not burn because this do affect soil organisms and that are extremely important to our soil.
Still to come this evening, 2 men killed in separate incidents involving the police on Monday. And in business news, local economist warns reduction in ships using the Panama Canal could impact Jamaicans. We'll have those and more right after this break.
Action! Professional studios, broadcast quality equipment, experience production.
Every winning team has a game plan, and hurricane season is no different. Before the storm makes its move, make yours. Stock up on water, food, medication, batteries, and important documents. Know your evacuation route and stay informed. Hurricane preparedness is your best defense. This hurricane season, score a goal for your family's safety. Be ready, be alert, be prepared.
Lights, camera, action! Professional studios, broadcast quality equipment, experience production support, all in one creative destination. TVJ Studios has the space, the technology, and the expertise to bring your vision to life. Rent TVJ Studios today and turn your vision into reality. Contact us at production@televisionjamaica.com.
Channels, music, drama, entertainment, news and sports, pay-per-view and video on demand. Download the app, sign up, and boom. So what are you waiting for? Now more than ever, make that connection. One Spot is your Jamaican app on the go, and did I say it's free in Jamaica?
The new Jamaica Gleaner website delivers a faster, cleaner, more user-friendly experience. Built on the trusted journalism that has informed Jamaica for generations. Experience clearer pages, faster load times, and smarter ad positioning to make your ads more impactful. Designed across every device for how Jamaicans read today. New experience, powered by trusted journalism. Subscribe.
Welcome back and continuing the news. As parents prepare for back-to-school reopening, there is a demand for cash. And in sections of Western Jamaica, where there was already a limited number of ABMs, even before Hurricane Melissa, the need is now even greater. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ is encouraging the public to be patient as financial institutions are still in recovery mode. Jamila Maitland explains.
Cash is the ultimate king. At least that's according to the people in Western Jamaica. With roughly 23% of citizens still unbanked and the country still in recovery mode, many merchants are encouraging cash to avoid fees and network issues which can impact sales. And so, the Jamaican dollar bill continues to be the headline act. Deputy Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Dr. Jide Lewis, says he's aware of the issues affecting Western Jamaica.
The number of ABMs is beginning to come back to what occurred or obtained prior to Melissa, but still there are some deficiencies in terms of uptime. As you know, the service level standard has a 95% uptime, and we're still observing where for some parishes the uptime is somewhere between 85% and 93%.
As parents and guardians prepare for back to school, cash-only signs plaster over the opening and closing hours at some businesses. Long lines snake around the limited ABMs in Westmoreland, and after a long journey to wait for hours in the heat to finally get cash, the ABM is either out of cash or out of service. The Deputy Governor is encouraging citizens to report the matter. Additionally, he's encouraging them to go digital.
The long-term solution for this particular issue really lies in two areas. One is in terms of the increased accessibility to digital means of transferring value, because ultimately speaking, if you have a growing economy, it means that you're going to have more cash. And more cash would mean, on the current dispensation, needing more ABMs. But there's a limit to which ABMs can be built out all across the island.
Deputy Governor Natalie Haynes says the value, number of transactions, and the number of businesses accepting its digital currency, Jamdex, has increased when compared to the similar period last year. Between January to July, there were over $50 million in transactions. The central bank says it represents almost 3 times the total number of transactions for all of 2025.
We are hopeful the transactions are increasing, and that, of course, is directly linked to our communications effort in terms of the initiatives that we're having across the island in terms of promotions with food establishments, bookstores, hosting of parties, and so where Jamdex are used to pay for things.
The BOJ's website shows some merchants that accepts its digital currency. However, majority of the businesses are in Kingston and St. Andrew. We did notice some businesses in St. James, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and Hanover, which were worst affected. For others, the location was not available. It's for these reasons that those living in Western Jamaica do not care for the card. For in crises like these, cash moves faster than any bank transfer. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
Edwin Allen High is declaring itself ready for the restart of school on September 7. The school was among those impacted by Hurricane Melissa months ago and required large-scale repair work. Details in this report.
This boys and girls champs powerhouse is used to winning races, and the school is about to win another. On this occasion, it is the race against time to get ready for back to school.
Since January of this year, the recovery efforts would have started, and we would have advanced the recovery effort in the summer. And to date, as we speak, we are about 90% complete in terms of the replacement of the roofs, windows, and other accessories that needed to be replaced. So come September 7, we are in a good position at this time to say that we can resume face-to-face classes for all our students.
It is a position many schools impacted by Hurricane Melissa don't enjoy less than 2 weeks before schools reopen. At last check, the Ministry of Education says repairs have been completed at 45 of the 308 Priority 1 schools identified for work ahead of the new school year. The ministry added that more than 100 other schools are about 80% complete. The numbers don't make for good reading, triggering worry among stakeholders and increasing demands for contractors to pick up the pace of the work. But no such complaints from the Edwin Allen School leadership.
We would have put in place a team to monitor the progress of the work. And I must give commendation to the contractor. The contractor would have listened, they would have increased the manpower, they would have increased the working hours. And I believe with that collaborative effort with school and the contractor and NET, we were able to get the work done based on the timelines that were set.
The Board of Management would have made it its point of duty to ensure that we monitor the work that is taking place so that school can be reopened September 7 in a satisfactory condition.
The Edwin Allen principal said the structural damage done by Hurricane Melissa over a year ago exacerbated some structural issues that needed attention at the school plant for a while, and these were also addressed.
We would have written to the Ministry of Education asking for assistance. So with the Melissa impact, we were able to get the ministry now to come on board to retrofit those spaces or those areas that would have been in a state of disrepair. So it is not that we have done more, it's just that the hurricane would have caused us to address those issues that were long-standing issues.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
And the leadership of the school says it is seeking to expand and improve the agriculture program. The aim is to use the produce grown at the school to help feed students.
I want to give thanks to the Member of Parliament who would have initiated a project to help us with the repairs of our greenhouse and to erect a shade house and to also assist us in rebuilding our agriculture program here at Edwin Allen. So we were just taking some measurements and doing some assessment in order to bring across the work for that project. The plan for the greenhouse is to repair the greenhouse that was damaged by Hurricane Melissa, and to restock the greenhouse with leafy vegetables so that we can supplement our food feeding program and specifically our breakfast program for our students at Edwin Allen.
A man was fatally shot during a targeted operation at Chocolate Hole in Junction in St. Elizabeth last night. The police say Jermaine Brown, also known as Dada, was shot after he opened fire at police officers. It is reported that shortly after 10, a police team armed with a warrant went to the home of Brown, who was said to be in possession of prohibited weapons. The police say a man was seen on the property, and when officers called out to the man, he opened gunfire at the team. The fire was returned and the man fell to the ground with wounds to his upper body. The police say he was clutching a black handgun that had 3 cartridges and no serial number affixed. The man was later found to be he was later found to be the suspect on the warrant. He was pronounced dead at the Black River Hospital. Meanwhile, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, has launched a probe into the fatal shooting of an unidentified man during an alleged armed confrontation with the police in St. Catherine, also on Monday. Reports indicate that shortly after 8 a.m., the police personnel conducted a cordon search operation in Long Lane off Marchpen Road in Spanish Town. During the operation, the unidentified man was fatally shot and a firearm was reportedly seized. The incident brings to 194 the number of fatal police shootings recorded so far in 2026, including 15 in August. Now, later in this newscast, legendary singer Dolly Parton has died. Please stay with us.
To Jamaica-Gleaner.com and experience the most trusted name in news online.
Television Jamaica delivers unmatched impact. With 82% of the free-to-air market, TVJ delivers your message to more than 1 million viewers daily. From our award-winning on-air broadcasts to our authentic local programs and powerhouse digital platforms, One Spot Media, YouTube, and our social media pages, your message connects with Jamaicans and a global audience. Build your brand or drive instant results with TVJ's trusted quality and unrivaled reach. Ready to make an impact? Advertise with us today. Call your TVJ account executive at 876-926-1100 or visit televisionjamaica.com. Let us help your business grow because TVJ reaches and TVJ delivers.
Picture this. You're on a beach or in the mountains, perhaps a bar or at the salon, with the world at your fingertips. That's one spot. Multiple channels, music, drama, entertainment, news and sports, pay-per-view and video on demand. Download the app, sign up, and boom. So what are you waiting for? Now more than ever, make that connection. One Spot is your Jamaican app on the go, and did I say it's free in Jamaica?
New Jamaica Gleaner website.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Following a 3-week delay, the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU, and the government are now ready to sign a new wage agreement for the island's public sector workers. More in this report from Prince Moore.
The wage deal, which was tentatively agreed to earlier this month, was put on hold after member unions of the JCTU raised concerns about the surge in inflation and its impact on the wage package. Members of the union expressed concern about the 7.5% increase in inflation, which is above the 4 to 6% projected by the government. They had urged the leadership of the JCTU to include an inflation clause, which would allow the union to return to the negotiating table if inflation continues to surge. Speaking with Radio Jamaica News this afternoon, JCTU President St. Patrice Ennis said the union is now satisfied with the wording of the deal.
Since we had announced reaching a tentative agreement with the government on the wage component of the negotiation on behalf of public sector workers, the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions and the government have exchanged draft agreements on the wording of the final document. We believe that we have now arrived at the appropriate wording on the details of the agreement, and at this juncture, I can see no impediment to the signing. So at this moment, I believe it is now dependent on the scheduling of the parties for this agreement to be signed.
In the proposed amendments, the JCTU had requested that several provisions be incorporated into the final written agreement governing the wage settlement. The union said these provisions are intended to provide clarity, preserve equity among bargaining groups, protect workers nearing retirement, and establish a definite timeline for concluding the outstanding items. The JCTU had also requested what it calls an inflation reopener clause, which would allow the parties to renegotiate if the rate of inflation exceeds the wage adjustment agreed for any period covered by the agreement. The union has also requested parity or most favored treatment, stipulating that if the government subsequently grants another public sector bargaining group a more favorable wage adjustment, payment, or monetary benefit during the same contract period, that benefit should also be extended to JCTU represented workers. It proposed that the $80,000 one-off lump sum payment agreed to in the first year of the contract should be tax-free. The workers are to receive a 5% increase in 2026-2027 and 2027-2028 of the 3-year contract. Prince Moore, TVJ News.
Time now for the responses from our friends on Facebook and X to our feedback question. And this evening we're asking, what has been your experience when purchasing books for back to school? The first response is from Audley. Purchasing books for back to school is often an expensive and stressful yearly challenge, but early planning and second-hand options helped me to manage the costs. Good for you, Audley. Jade says most of the books are not available. Jake Sarblack, I ordered my son's books from Kmart Books and they delivered it. They were not too expensive as well, so I had no problems, thank God. And the next response from someone, my experience purchasing books, uniforms, and other back-to-school supplies has generally been challenging because of the high cost of school items. I usually plan ahead, compare prices, and prioritize the most important items first. I also look for affordable options and promotions where possible to stay within my budget. Do we have another or that's it? Well, that's it. Keep sending those comments. Facebook.com/Television Jamaica and post on X at TVJ News Center. The business day and news from overseas are after the break, so please stay with us.
Every winning team has a game plan, and hurricane season is no different. Before the storm makes its move, make yours. Stock up on water, food, medication, batteries, and important documents. Know your evacuation route and stay informed. Hurricane preparedness is your best defense. This hurricane season, score a goal for your family's safety. Be ready, be alert, be prepared.
Lights, camera, action. Professional studios, broadcast quality equipment, experience production support, all in one creative destination. TVJ Studios has the space, the technology, and the expertise to bring your vision to life. Rent TVJ Studios today and turn your vision into reality. Contact us at production@televisionjamaica.com.
Cleaner, more user-friendly experience. Built on the trusted journalism that has informed Jamaica for generations. Experience clearer pages, faster load times, and smarter ad positioning to make your ads more impactful. Designed across every device for how Jamaicans read today. New experience, powered by trusted journalism. Subscribe to Jamaica-Gleaner.com and experience the most trusted name in news online.
Welcome back, and it's time now for the business news. Local economist Keenan Faulkner says the restrictions in the number of ships that will be allowed through the Panama Canal starting next month are likely to further increase the cost to move goods and drive up import prices. Mr. Faulkner said the daily vessel limits are also likely to trigger higher inflation in Jamaica, meaning higher prices for goods and services for Jamaicans. This as the constraints will slow down transit times in the canal and disrupt the flow of cargo. Last week, the Panama Canal Authority said it will cut the number of ships passing through it starting on September 34 due to low water levels in two artificial lakes that feed the canal. And from September 15, the number of ships permitted will drop to 32. The Panama Canal handles 5% of global maritime trade and about 40% of U.S. container traffic. It is favored by many shippers because it usually reduces cost and transit times, especially for large retailers and energy companies that trade between China and the rest of Asia and the USA. 4 more artisan villages will be set up in key tourism areas across Jamaica. The first artisan village in Falmouth, Trelawney was officially launched in 2024. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett said the project was delayed for a number of reasons, including the level of expenditure required.
But more so the designs and so on, and we had to make adjustments as we went along to bring it to where we needed it to be, because it's a first one, and first ones are always subject to iterations. So now that we've done the first, we are ready and in a position to go to the second in Ocho Rios, the third in Montego Bay, and the fourth in Negril, and the fifth in Port Antonio.
Minister Bartlett was speaking at the recent Tourism Service Excellence Awards. He said Jamaica has improved on the professionalism of the tourism workforce through training at the Jamaica Center for Tourism Innovation. The center was officially opened in 2017.
And to date, we have certified 45,000 tourism workers across Jamaica. And that program is continuing. And we partnered with the American Hotel and Lodging Institute, Education Institute, and the American Culinary Foundation. And it is from the American Federation that the sous chefs are certified.
To some stocks news now, the JSE index advanced by 4,869 points today, while the Junior Market Index advanced by 19 points. The winners included First Rock Real Estate Investments US dollar shares, Epley 7.75%, Honeybun, Margaritaville Turks, and Express Catering. The losers include Margaritaville Turks, Cygnus Real Estate Finance, Sterling Investments, Cargo Handlers, and the JMMB Group 10%. 15 stocks traded firm. At the end of foreign exchange trading, banks and cambios were selling the US dollar for an average $159.21. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $115.27. The pound is going for $216.95, while the euro is selling for an average $186.26. And that's the business news. News from overseas right after this break.
The Business Day, brought to you by
Every winning team has a game plan, and hurricane season is no different. Before the storm makes its move, make yours. Stock up on water, food, medication, batteries, and important documents. Know your evacuation route and stay informed. Hurricane preparedness is your best defense.
In news overseas, Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Her family says she died peacefully Tuesday at her home in Nashville. The news comes after Parton recently missed the opening of a new ride at Dollywood because of ongoing health issues. A rescheduled Las Vegas residency was also cancelled due to health issues. Parton rose from humble beginnings in Tennessee to earn the unofficial title of Queen of Country Music. She wrote more than 3,000 songs over half a century-plus career. Notables include Jolene, 9 to 5, and I Will Always Love You. Parton won 11 Grammys and is a member of both the Country and Rock and Roll Hall of Fames. She was also one of the country's most beloved philanthropists.
Working 9 to 5. I'm sorry, I can't sing.
Well, at least you know the song, but stick to your day job, though.
So it says, keep working 9 to 5. I'll keep working 9 to 5. The Primetime News package continues with sports right after this break.
Television Jamaica delivers unmatched impact. With 82% of the free-to-air market, TVJ delivers your message to more than 1 million viewers daily. From our award-winning on-air broadcasts to our authentic local programs and powerhouse digital platforms, One Spot Media, YouTube, and our social media pages, your message connects with Jamaicans and a global audience. Build your brand or drive instant results with TVJ's trusted quality and unrivaled reach. Ready to make an impact? Advertise with us today. Call your TVJ account executive at 876-926-1100 or visit televisionjamaica.com. Let us help your business grow because TVJ reaches and TVJ delivers.
Picture this. You're on a beach or in the mountains, perhaps a bar.
St. Matthew's Anglican